Welcome back everybody to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to another match preview as Wolves host Tottenham Hotspur this Saturday evening. Here's a little bit of what's coming up.
I think we're going to come straight out at them. Nuno's obviously going to have been having a word with them this week.
Yeah.
Because you know the last two games they have been subpar.
We've also got some words from our friends at the Thing I Love Mo show, the Spurs fans.
I can't see you guys having a problem this season at all. I think, you should definitely be aiming for top 10.
But before we start it all off, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads, and all our social links are in the description down below. So then, here I am, Ewan, you're alongside me today. How's it going, mate?
All good, thank you.
Good, so we're here to preview, yet again, another Wolves home match. Ewan, under the lights on Saturday, are you looking forward to it?
I can't wait for this one, should be a cracker.
Saturday night, 7:45 kickoff. It's just the fourth time, I believe, that Premier League have had a game on a Saturday at that sort of time. Obviously, all of them being more recent anyway. We'll quickly touch on the last couple of games, though. You and Wolves really need to bounce back, don't they? 2 defeats on the bounce. First time we've seen it happen under Nuno. Do you think it's going to be a third? What do you reckon?
Yeah, 2 defeats. I mean, the last 2 games haven't been great, have they? I think the game last week was a lot better than Watford, though. We pressed a lot more, had obviously a lot more shots off, but are just not scoring any at all. So it's a bit frustrating for everyone involved. But I do honestly think they'll bounce back this week, and I fancy them for a result.
Yeah, I mean, we need that. I've spoken to... neither of us went personally on Saturday, but we've spoken to people, and it shows how well we played, and we were sort of unlucky. Brighton having that one shot on target, took their opportunity brilliantly, and that's what's going to cost you in the Premier League. We may have got away with that once or twice in the Championship last season, but unfortunately, this time around, we haven't done so. We're going to kick off with some stats, though. I've got 5 key stats, 5 stats that are sort of looked at and well, incredible, really. So Tottenham, to start off with, are unbeaten in their last 38 Premier League games against promoted sides, winning 35 and drawing just 3. So that in itself is a crazy stat. But Wolves were the last promoted side to beat Spurs twice in the same season. That was in the 2009-2010 season. Wolves have failed to score in the last 2 league games. Obviously, they've never failed to score in 3 consecutive league games under Nuno. And Wolves have won none of their last 24 Premier League matches against sides starting the day in the top half of the league table, drawing 10 and losing 14. The last time they did was when we beat Manchester United 1-0 in Feb 2011.
What a game.
And the final stat is, despite playing just 250 minutes of Premier League football, no player has completed more dribbles than Wolves' Adama Traore. The only player with as many is Eden Hazard, but he has played 417 more minutes than Adama. So, yeah, pretty incredible. Those 5 stats I thought just stood out for me.
Good stats.
Good stats. But I mean, the one that frightens me there a little bit, Ewan, is Spurs' record against teams that have just come up. But we've seen it happen time and time again when we sort of almost defy these odds and go against all of those and somehow pick up the wins.
Yeah, I mean, even this season we've seen with Man City and Man United. I know we obviously didn't win both those games, but we really gave a good account of ourselves, and probably arguably should have won the Man United game. So yeah, like I said, I'm sort of confident of a result in this one. I think a good atmosphere at Molineux, 7:45 is going to be like really good. I think the last time that I remember that sort of time was the Chelsea versus Wolves last. Was it the 2016
FA Cup game? Was it?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I remember.
I think it's going to be similar to that. I feel like the atmosphere is going to be the same. So yeah, I think we're going to come straight out at them. Nuno's obviously going to have been having a word with them this week. Yeah. Because the last 2 games they have been subpar. But yeah, I fancy ourselves for a result. Just got to look out for obviously their main guys like Kane. They're just goal scorers, and Bound are always getting the right position. So I'm not too worried, but you've obviously got to be cautious as well of those players.
Yeah, of course. So we'll touch shortly on the players that Spurs have got in their disposal shortly. But yeah, I agree. I mean, these evening games especially, I mean, every Wolves game has been sold out. It's been extremely difficult for anyone sort of on general sale to grab a ticket and whatnot. And the atmosphere, I think, on Saturday is going to be ridiculous. Of course, It's a remembrance game as well, so I'd assume we're going to have the minute silence. Obviously, we're all going to pay our respects for that, and it'll be interesting to see sort of what Wolves do pre-match to get everyone pumped up and so on as well. But yeah, the atmosphere is always rocking on those games, and I think it's going to be key for us to get behind these lads. I think the Watford game I think it took us by a bit of shock, really. I don't think the atmosphere was as good as it would be. Not that the atmosphere matters to how we play our games, but it always we know how it gives the players a boost and so on.
Yeah, of course.
And I think Spurs are going to come in their numbers as well. Talking about their players, obviously you mentioned a couple there. Harry Kane obviously being the most notable one. I think that Spurs fans probably want him to start hitting his form a little bit, a lot higher sooner, probably. Yeah. I don't think he's scoring as many goals as they would have wanted him to. Dele Alli's just signed a new long-term contract. Well, they've got so much attacking players at their disposal, whether it be Lucas Moura, Heung-min Son, Christian Eriksen. They've got plenty of players. Is there anyone in their sort of squad list, Ewan, that you think is going to be a real danger wherever they play on the pitch? Obviously, you've got Kieran Trippier as well, who is a bit of a menace from set pieces.
Well, I've noticed their last few games, I know they've been bringing on Ali and Eriksen sort of towards the sort of 65, 70 minutes, even if they're winning, just to give them a run out, I think. So yeah, there's going to be no let up, especially in that second half. We need to keep the effort 100% all the time, because they have got the options to bring in, and like you said, Son Heung-min as well. It's going to be a tough game. I fancy. It's like you said with Trippier, though. I do fancy that battle between. Is it going to be him and Doc? I presume.
No, it'll be on the opposite side because they're both right.
Oh yeah, sorry. So it'll be Johnny, won't it? Yeah. Johnny and Trippier. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But yes, they've got good attacking players and always the threat off the bench, like we said. Yeah,
I mean, Spurs are doing very, very well, and there's actually been a little bit of criticism about them, but I've looked at them and they're only 1 point behind Arsenal, for argument's sake, and how good have Arsenal been bigged up this season for their run. I was just quickly having a quick check about sort of how they lined up against City, and they sort of started with a 4-2-3-1. You've got Moussa Dembele, he seems to have been around in the Premier League for a long time now, alongside maybe Eric Dyer, who again probably isn't as good as, or he hasn't been playing as well as he did when he first came across to England. The back four is very, very strong. It depends. It'll be interesting to see if they play Hugo Lloris in goal as well, because I know he's been prone to a couple of mistakes over the last few weeks. But Ben Davies, Alderweireld, Davinson Sanchez and Trippier is a good, solid back four. You'd be happy with that as a top 6 team, I feel. Obviously, the Dembele and Dyer. And then your front four, they did play against City, Sissoko and Lamela, who I wouldn't be surprised to see change for, as you say, either Heung-min Son, Eriksen or Dele Alli. As I say, they're the options that they've got.
Because they changed Lucas Moura, didn't they, for Eriksen in the last game?
Yes.
So it'd be interesting to see how they play. Like you said, with that front four, if they change it again, or sort of keep Moura as a starter and bring Eriksen on later on, or change it up.
It'll be very interesting, because I think the way they set up is going to be interesting to see how we set up, or how we sort of counter that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've got quite a compact formation, but at the same time they're going to be quick. They're going to get the ball forward quickly. So it'll be very interesting. We can't give Harry Kane much space, as you know, in and around the area. He's deadly, so he's probably one of the... In the area, he's probably one of the better finishers in the world, so we do have to be 100%. Careful of that. But before we move on, though, we're going to hear what our friends that are Spurs fans have got to think about the game coming up. So then I'm here with Tottenham fan Nohl from the Thing I Love Mo show. Nohl, thanks for jumping on today. How are you?
Thanks, mate. Yeah, very good, thank you. Good victory at West Ham yesterday.
That's it. It's
a crazy one. They hate. It was unbelievable. It was a good atmosphere down there, and there was a couple of people around on the pitch, and it was fun. Security was tight, but we managed to get the victory.
That's it. So you're through to the next round. Is it against Arsenal now, is it, the next one?
No, yeah. Oh, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it's, like the Carabao Cup seems to be the battle of the B teams, basically, and our B team is actually not that bad. People talk about the fact we haven't made signings and our squad is quite thin, but, we made 10 changes last night and we still had a very good team. So, no, I think our B team's probably better than their B teams. If it comes down to that, who knows? It's probably one win on the day. I hope we don't lose on penalties, but it could happen.
It's just how it is. So all those changes this week, do you reckon that's gearing up to have a much stronger and fresh team up against Wolves this Saturday?
I think I think it was difficult because obviously we played on Monday against Man City, and so that was a difficult game for us. We've still got quite a few people coming back from injury. Ali and Ericsson played last night; they looked okay, which was good. Foyth actually looked very good, and I don't know if will get time on Saturday, but yeah, I think the league is definitely our priority, especially after our performances in the Champions League. So he'll go with a strong side, probably similar to the side I would have thought against Man City. Maybe Moura might drop to the bench. He might play Ericsson or Ali.
Okay, yeah.
But Lamela, I think, will probably keep his place, even though he did hit one over the bar the other day.
Chance, that was it. So what do you think of Spurs' start overall to the season? I know there's been a few negative comments about it, but sort of looking at the league position, how they actually started, I don't think it's too bad. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's very difficult once you sort of like have quite a bit of success to get sort of used to it and get expectant of a team doing really, really well. I think we've played worse this season than I can remember in terms of our performances, but the results have still been okay, and we're still up there. So that's a good sign. But we're used to hammering teams. We're used to being defensively sound. But in recent games, like Lloris has had a few wobbles. Trippier the other day against City. These are mistakes that you just can't afford to make at any level, let alone big games in the Champions League and in the league. So if we can iron those out, and if we can get the injured players back, we've had quite a bad injury list to begin with this season, which is not always great for any squad. But once the players come back, I think we'll be okay. We normally have a good sort of end of season. We normally have a good like January, February, March. So
yeah.
Fingers crossed, but yeah, we're up there, And no, I mean, City didn't look amazing against us on Monday. I thought we could have easily got a draw, and they're the team that's supposedly running away with it. So I don't think there's a massive gulf in class in the league as there was last season. So yeah, I think we'll be up there come the end of the season. We need Harry needs to hit form again, and hopefully get Vertonghen back. Then we should be okay.
Well, there's an interesting stat that I just mentioned on the preview, which I don't know if you guys are aware of, the Spurs boys anyway. Tottenham are unbeaten in their last 38 Premier League games against promoted sides, winning 35 of them.
That is an impressive stat.
Yeah, well, I saw that this morning, and then I also saw Wolves were the last promoted side to beat Spurs twice in the same season. So fingers crossed, we're onto something there.
I like that. Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on Wolves this season? Obviously, we had quite high hopes coming into the season. What are your thoughts from sort of an outsider's point of view?
I've been so impressed. I really have. I think to win the championship the way you did is obviously an achievement, but then it's a very different ball game coming into Premier League because the standard's higher. And it's not as it's just a I mean, the championship is difficult, don't get me wrong, but I think the Premier League is just that next level in class where you can't, like I said, make any mistakes.
That's it, yeah.
You need to be on point and you need goals. And I think, as we discussed before, I think it's a question of goals for you guys. It's a question of goals for all of the teams that have been promoted and that are down the bottom. But I can't see you guys having a problem this season at all. I think, you should definitely be aiming for top 10. I think you've got a manager who really knows how to play the game. He seems like a good, solid coach. He's getting the best out of the players. He's bought well. I really like the look of Neves. And I think, going forward from the wings, I think you're creating chances, which is a good thing. But you just probably need someone, I don't know, better than Jimenez or someone to actually really just start getting those 20 goals a season.
That's it. I think that's the discussion among most Wolves fans. Which striker do we want in January to try and bag those goals? But yeah, plenty of chances, not enough goals. But finally, what's your score prediction going to be? Back in Spurs for a victory on Saturday?
Well, to be honest, I mean, I thought our performance last night was good, and I think we should be confident. Away games are always difficult, it's never going to be easy. I think you guys are going to be up for it because you've had a couple of bad results yourselves. So I think your team will be wanting to play well and wanting to improve. So I wouldn't be surprised if you did get a goal, but I'm looking at the way we played yesterday. I think we might be able to grab two. So I might even go for my 2-1 Tourette's again.
There we go, 2-1 Tourette's. Love it. Right, perfect. Thanks a lot for coming on, Nohl, and I'm sure we'll see you all very soon.
Best of luck. Okay. Best of luck with the show. Thanks, guys.
So there we go. Thanks again to the guys at the Things I Love Most show. Make sure you check them out. Links to those will be in the description. But Ewan, It's time now for the score predictions. It seems like you're a bit quietly confident about this one. So what do you reckon you're going for?
Yeah, I was just thinking then whilst we listened to the guys. I'm probably going to say, I'm not sure. I'm going to go for a 1-0, an optimistic 1-0. And then obviously we were speaking just before about the fans bet, and I think I'm going to go for the Doherty 1-0. I feel like he's going to get in the box and nick one. So yeah.
Doherty 1-0. Brave bet. You did get it right last week, to be fair.
Yeah.
We normally seem to have one. You said 1-0 either way, and obviously Brighton nicked it last week. I said 1-1. I think I'm going to stick with that. Obviously, we're being quietly confident. We've always seemed to be quite confident on this. I think it's very rare that we sort of go against a Wolves win or draw. But I'm going to do it again. I have put Kane to be first goal scorer, but I do believe Wolves are going to come back and peg them back and get something out of the game. I really hope we do. We do need to bounce back, and I think anything more than a draw is a good result for us against Spurs at the moment. And hopefully we do that. Guys, let us know in the comment section down below your thoughts, your score predictions. As always, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The social links for me and Ewan are in the description alongside all the Talking Wolves, the Facebook, the Instagram and the Twitter. But until next time, guys, I'm sure we'll catch you all very, very soon.